Hello, I'm David McThomas. I'm a session guitar player from... I keep forgetting where I'm from. Hello, I'm David McThomas. I'm a session guitar player out of the UK, and today we're going to be talking about Mike Campbell. Now, a lot of the guitar community might already know about Mike Campbell. Mike Campbell, I feel, is a very underrated guitar player, pretty much across the board. He's one of those players that continually just plays the part, plays what he feels is best, but he's a very, very underrated player. And the thing I noticed about him the most is that his playing really translates on record. Like, a lot of people's playing sometimes can be completely different on a recording as to when they're playing live, and Mike Campbell just, like, I'd almost say he's more, I don't know, because he's played obviously a lot of live stuff. He's played with Tom Petty over the years, Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that, but I think his best stuff might just be on record. I wouldn't even say that I'm a super fan of Mike Campbell's or anything like that, but I just think he deserves this time and looking at some of his guitar parts, basically. I've been a fan of Tom Petty's music for years. My parents played it growing up, and like, I'm very familiar with it now. And Mike Campbell is kind of synonymous with Tom Petty. Played with him for years and years and years. Wrote a lot of the guitar parts for the records. And he actually joined Fleetwood Mac for a little bit when Lindsey Buckingham left. They had to get kind of two people to fill in for Lindsey, obviously a lead singer and a guitarist. And they couldn't have picked a better guitar player, to be honest, to join that lineup with the people that they had in that band. Yeah, it's just a great move all around. I've seen Fleetwood Mac, the original lineup. Christine, John, Mick, Lindsey and Stevie. I've seen them twice, luckily enough. But I actually wouldn't have minded going to see the Mike Campbell. I've never seen Mike Campbell play. Never got to see Tom Petty, which is a shame. Mike definitely has some of the most memorable guitar parts and sounds. I've recreated some of them today using the Line 6 Helix native app, which you can actually get this patch now down. I'll put it in the link below. And it's kind of based off his 2 amp setup. So he's known for using 2 small amps and obviously projecting them through a PA. Kind of made some snapshots for certain things, but then I've added some pedals that you can add into your sound that I've seen on one of his rig rundowns. So things like tremolo, the rotary, which is like a Leslie, just so you can like play about with it. I'm not exactly sure what songs he uses them on and things like that. I'm not a mega fan, but yeah, I just wanted to put them in just in case. So let's get some playing going. Hello. So this is our clean sound. This is snapshot 1. This is not necessarily clean, but I'll explain in a second, because Mike uses 2 small combos on the stage, apparently, and that's how he kind of gets his sound. So it's kind of very Americana. And I was just thinking like Mary Jane's Last Dance kind of vibe. I shouldn't be using my telly for this, but I haven't got it with me, so this kind of works with most guitars, I'd imagine. And I've also added things like tremolo and a rotary sim, just because I've seen it on his rig rundown, but I don't know what songs and things he uses it on. But you can use your imagination and do what you will with that. Snapshot 2 is Crunch, which is for like It kind of has just like a fuzzy kind of thing to it. Thing is, I like about some of these kind of tones is that they're quite pokey, they're quite in your face. I usually like to roll off quite a lot of the harshness, but I read somewhere that like a lot of people will, when they progress in their playing, they kind of embrace this kind of sound where it starts to sound a little bit more, not messy, but like more of like a pokey sound, because it's easier to play a smoother, more rounded sound than it is to play like a pokey sound, because it's just, there's nowhere to hide, basically. Like, he's not a shredder, and there's a solo in Mary Jane's Last Dance. I don't know what the... something along those lines, probably even the wrong key, but all that kind of stuff, which is sick. But it's not too gainy. Then I got Learn to Fly. Again, I'm not sure if I'm playing all these things right. This is just what I know by ear, so I'm just picking it out and just having a go. But it's got that kind of dreamy thing going. The next snapshot is Mod Clean, which is more for like a listen to a heart kind of vibe. And then Breakdown, you would have heard in the start, it's just the... That's just like a nice kind of glassy sound. And that's the thing with my Campbell, it's really hard to put like your finger on exactly what sound he had, because you like studio guitarist to the nines, like basically. He could play anything, play any instrument really that he wanted to on the record. Yeah, beast. So I'm using a spring reverb on all of the patches, and for some of them I just notch up the mix. And there's a 1176 compressor on it, which gives it, let me turn it off. So this is 1176 off on the Breakdown. This is with the 1176. It just keeps it in check if you're biting and... is. Nice. We could have some fun with... so now we can try like the rotary sim for the... say on the crunch setting maybe? I love a Leslie on a guitar. I use it all the time in my gigs. But I don't know how you would use it, but it's just a bit of fun. See, it's got a hairy tone, not usually what I go for, but it definitely has a place, especially when you're playing songs and it's got to cut through. This is only a little dive into what Mike Campbell is about. I would check him out, check his music out, check Tom Petty's music out. He is a phenomenal guitar player, and I think he's extremely underrated. I feel like I've only really scratched the surface a little bit. I've just played to a few things. The patch is on my website down below, so you can have a look at that. I would urge you to go and just listen to the playing on a lot of the Tom Petty stuff. It's unbelievable. And if there's any other underrated guitar players you'd like me to cover or look into, please pop them down in the comments below, because I'd be more than happy to explore and have a look at their playing style and things like that. But yeah, for now, take care and all the best.